Every map you have ever looked at your entire life is a lie designed to make you believe Africa is small. Look at a standard school map. Greenland looks the same size as Africa, clear as day. Right? Except it is a complete lie. In reality, Africa is 14 times larger than Greenland. You could fit the entire United States, China, India, Japan, and almost all of Europe inside the borders of Africa, and you would still have room left over. So here's the question you must ask yourself. Why do the most powerful nations on Earth spend centuries rewriting geography just to shrink an entire continent? The answer is not an accident of geometry. It is a calculated psychological weapon. For over 400 years, the world has relied on the Mercator projection map. It was created in 1569 by a Flemish cartographer named Gerardus Mercator. It was designed for one thing only: nautical navigation. It calculated straight lines across flat paper so colonial ships could cross the oceans. But to make a round globe flat, Mercator stretched the poles and compressed the equator. Because Africa sits directly on the equator, it got crushed. Because Europe and North America sit in the north, they became massive. But when colonialism took over the globe, this navigation tool became an ideological weapon. Think about it. If you want to colonize a continent, control its people, and extract its wealth, you cannot let the world see its true majesty. You cannot let the people living there realize they occupy the largest, richest piece of land on Earth. Psychology proves that visual dominance translates to perceived political dominance. By making Europe look massive and Africa look tiny, the map silently taught generations a dangerous lie: that Africa was small, dependent, and easily conquered. But the true scale of the land is undeniable. Africa spans over 30 million square kilometers. It is larger than the entire old Soviet Union. It is larger than the moon's surface area visible from Earth. Yet, when you open a textbook today, you are still shown the distorted Mercator map. Even Google Maps used it for years. The distortion distorts the mind. It makes the world view Africa as a footnote, rather than the literal center of the world. When you shrink a continent on paper, it becomes easier to shrink its achievements in the history books. It makes it easier to tell the world that nothing of value ever came from inside those borders. But the physical distortion of the land was just the cover-up for something much bigger. Because the maps did not just shrink Africa's borders, they hid what was built inside them. They hid the existence of an ancient, hyper-advanced megacity with walls 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China. A city that makes the Roman Empire look like a primitive village. A city they deliberately flattened so you would never know your true power. Drop the word truth in the comments if you are ready to unlearn the lies. Tomorrow, we break past the borders and step inside the lost titanium strength, mega structures of Africa that history tried to erase. Hit subscribe because you cannot afford to miss what they hid under the dirt.